It's Kaz. It's a Kaz special as well. Oh, we have done an interview and all sorts of things. I've gone all posh. Certainly have.
You're listening to the
Ka. Hasn't that been done to death? Isn't that so 90s?
You think so?
You think so?
It's the Casimir engine. It's not ka.
And to start proceedings tonight, we've got the bestest thing happened on Friday. Def Neon, new single, Just Do It.
Baby, but you're not gonna stop 'cause you want it. Treat it right, baby, it's over the top, but you like it. Can't believe it. Real sweet love will give me all that you got 'cause you breathe it. Real sweet love, if you're ready or not, let's get through it. We can do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Free of nature with a body to kill, gotta bleed it. Free of nature, take me out for a thrill, 'cause you like it. Can't control it. Supernova with some fire to burn, gotta feed it. Supernova getting ready to turn, let's get through it. We can do it. Just 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 do it. Treat it right, baby, but you're not gonna stop 'cause you want it. Treat it right, baby, it's over the top, but you like it. Can't believe it. Real sweet lover, give me all that you got 'cause you breathe it. Real sweet lover, if you're ready or not, let's get through it. We can do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. How amazing's that? Just do it. Just do it. Where can I get it, Kaz? www.analogtrash.com or get on the Def Neon Bandcamp site. Holy moly.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show, recorded live in front of a studio audience.
What have you? The One Show? Because it's going to be like the One Show tonight. This is my chance of getting a job on Country File or replacing that Matt Baker bloke off of the One Show, because I've been out there interviewing people. doing interesting chitty chats with people who've got a story to tell. So who were you chatting to, Kaz? Who let you into their life? Well, I tell you, my new BFF Carl down the road, he was the guy, I don't know whether you listened about 4 episodes ago, that man who sawed that tree down and dropped a load of bees on my head. Well, I went round to have a chat with him about all sorts of things to do with bees. So along with that, we're going to do something different sound-wise. We've got some spoken word, and it's all to do with bees. Yeah, this is like proper production and everything. Well, there's a first. How many episodes have we had? About flipping 50 odd, and all of a sudden I've decided to get professional. Well, we'll see about that as well. So I'm going to introduce you to Carl, and you'll hear us walking through the garden, and Carl will be telling you he does refer at one point to the bees being people. It's not weird. So we'll be playing all sorts of different tracks. I'll fill you in with the details as we go along. But without further ado, it was dead sunny as well. And what is it tonight? Lashing it down. It's like the bleak midwinter. It don't go like that, does it? But it is like the bleak midwinter out there. It's lashing it down with rain, and it's going to rain all day tomorrow. You're listening to Casimir Engine Show. How can we get in touch? At Casimir Podcast on Twitter, at Casimir Podcast on Facebook. And if you want to catch up with any of the shows, www.casimirengine.com.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show, and it's great.
Welcome to the Casimir Engine Show. Oh no, we've got Breeze as well, so I'll have to stand that way. We're with Carl the Beekeeper. I'm going to call it Beekeeper.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're going to have a chat about, we met a few weeks ago. You had a garden open day for National Garden Scheme.
That's right.
And I was sitting having a nice slice of cake and a cup of tea, and then all of a sudden you shouted, "Oh no, my bees have escaped."
Yeah, they've swarmed. Yeah.
They've swarmed.
Yeah.
So we said, "Oh, that'd be really good. We should get together and have a chat about it."
Yeah.
And it's a red hot day. It's got to be 22 degrees.
I think it's
something
going
like
to get to 23 today. But
right.
Yeah,
It is warm, and we're wearing
overalls.
Yeah, thick white overalls with helmet things at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And you've said we're walking down to the beehives, and you said, right, we've just got to do this one thing before we start chatting about bees. There's a shed in front of us, and it's full of wasps.
It is, yeah.
Why have you got to go in there? Why have you got to open the door? Because I once got stung in junior school by a wasp.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
I've got a...
Well, the reason they're in there is that all the old frames are in there, and obviously they've found some honey, and so they've just gone round, and they're all trying to get in at the bottom and everywhere.
So in there you've got
the
frames out of a hive?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd rather have them in there than I would around the bees.
Oh, right.
And once they get in, they don't seem to be able to get out, so going in.
Not going with, let's say you've got to open that door and go in there in a minute.
Yeah.
But, so, are you saying that wasps will go into hives?
They'll attack the hives this time of year.
Will they?
Yeah. Well, the wasp, it's finished laying the queens, so the queens have all hatched out and are probably in wood piles, etc., around the country. Whereas the workers that kept them have got nothing to do, and that's why they look for sugars, because they've got nothing to build or tend, no eggs, so they're just out for their own benefit. So they're in there trying to get sugars for themselves.
Okay. And you've got to go in there?
I've got to go in there, yeah.
I haven't got to go in there.
Oh, you can come in with me.
Shouldn't you? Well, if there's a choice in it, I wonder what I'm going to choose.
No, you it's one of those,
It's not on my bucket list.
Look, wasps are harmless. They're quite stupid. They have no direction. Like on a honeybee, they will attack you and they'll zone in onto where you are. Wasps have no idea.
Yeah.
They really are useless. They don't. Well, from my experience, they don't attack you. They can't. They're more likely to just fly around you, and you can pick them off willy-nilly. They're only interested in sugar. So if you've got sugar everywhere, they'll go for you. That's why they go for your beer or your sandwiches. Or whatever,
right,
around
okay.
pubs, etc.
Yeah.
So they're in this shed at the moment because they've sensed a bit of sugar.
Okay.
But they're in there and they can't get out.
All right.
So I open the door and they'll fly out, but there'll be a lot in there. And the reason I've got to go in is I've got to get my smoker started.
Right.
And I've also got to get my tools for the hives.
Okay.
So
Well, good luck with it. I'm going to put my helmet thing on.
Do you want to go in first?
No.
It's the Casimir Engine Show podcast. Recorded live from Matlock, Derbyshire.
So we'll be catching up with Carl in a few minutes after we've heard from Darren Claxton with his new single Better Day. I'll be posting up all the details on Facebook and on Twitter where you can get a hold of it.
Without and put you in
That's the incredible Darren Claxton. You can get in touch with him at tune.com. That's CHOON.com/artists/Darren Claxton, and that's CLAXTON. We're all tooled up, we've got gloves on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the shed of bees.
No, a shed of wasps.
Oh, sorry, shed of wasps. Well, I'm getting my stripy insects mixed up. So, as I was saying, I got stung by a wasp when I was a kid.
Yeah.
At junior school.
Was it in a glove or did you stand
No,
on
it's
it?
down the back of my shirt.
Yeah, so it fell down the back of your shirt.
Fell down the back
That's
of my
why.
shirt and then stung me off.
Yeah. If it's in your gloves or you put your hand on it or your foot, they're bound to sting you.
Yeah.
But generally, if they're flying around, unless you wave at them, they'll have a go.
So, we're back in the shed and there's still just as many wasps.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wasps in here.
Yeah.
And
If I put my hand here,
yeah.
they're not interested.
No?
No. Look, nothing.
What if you killed one? Would they all know?
No. No, they don't work as... They might release a pheromone, but there's so many different varieties of wasp here.
Is there?
Yeah.
How do you tell the difference?
Well,
I walked
wood
in.
wasp there, that little one there is a wood wasp.
Okay. All right, and that
Yeah.
chews up wood and makes up
Yeah,
a nest.
well, they all chew at wood.
Oh, okay.
But there's different types of, you know.
What? That one's a big one.
I
There.
couldn't tell you what type it is.
All
You'd
right.
have to- I'd have
But it
to
is
look.
different. You
But
can see
can
the
spot
difference between.
between,
Yeah.
So I do know there's two different types, at least.
I've never noticed the difference because
Yeah.
you don't really take notice of
No,
it.
you're
I
usually
suppose,
going
do
the other
you?
way, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these, we were saying, they don't produce honey or anything like that. These
Only
are,
for their own young. They
And
won't
use-
produce. Well, bees only produce enough for what they need. I'll show you that we use a trick to keep
oh,
calm
right.
them.
Okay.
But I'll show you that.
Yeah.
But wasps will basically build a paper out of wood pulp,
Yep.
and then they lay their eggs in there. And depending on the type of year it is, the better they'll produce more and more eggs. So there's more than one colony here.
Why are there wasps? what do they do?
There's a book I've heard.
Is there? Why are there wasps?
Yeah.
What
I
do
don't-
wasps do?
Well, I think it's like anything. They're a bit like ants in lots of respects. They tidy up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they tidy up, and bits and pieces. They all scavenge. So this time of year, they're bored. All they're after is sugar. That's why they're in here, trying to get sugar, but there's none available. And if they can't get in here, they'll be attacking my hives. So I'm not too bothered that they're in here.
And we're saying that in the corner of that end of the shed, you've
Yeah.
got they're frames that would have had honeycomb in at some point.
Yes, they've got honeycomb in, but it's empty.
Empty of honey.
Yeah, I don't, if I open one.
Oh yeah.
See, there's some wasps.
And
in
there's
there,
some, yeah.
but they can't get further than that one.
And that's old honeycomb in there.
That's old honeycomb that's empty that
Yeah.
I haven't used, and it's just out the way. But they've got a sniff of it when I took when I take the honey off. I bring the honey into this route into here in the
Yeah.
shed, and then I move it from here into the house.
Yeah.
But obviously they got a whiff of it, and they've come in trying to find it, and it's not here.
Right.
And they've stayed because they can't get it back out. Well, they can.
You need a
they
wasp flap.
Yeah. I don't really want a wasp flap, thank you.
No. Yeah.
So yes, they're in here, but they do. I suppose everything has a reason. It's just their reason is more irritating for us.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a sting on them. The interesting about their sting is, on a bee sting, it has a barb. So it has a sort of like a, on these fishing.
Fishing hook.
When you go deep fishing with these guns and they have a barb on the end.
Oh
of the
yeah,
spear.
like a harpoon.
Yeah, these have the same, but on these can sting you into your skin, and it can pull it out. A bee, when it stings you, or a bumblebee, has a different type of barb, and so when it stings you, it sticks it in. On honeybees, anyway, it sticks it in, and it can't pull it out. So when it moves away, it rips off its abdomen.
That's why a bee dies if it stings you.
Yeah, but a bee, interesting enough, can sting another bee, and it won't stay in. It'll only human skin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so on a human skin can it stick and die. But when it sticks that in and it moves, it releases a pheromone, an alert pheromone,
Yeah.
to tell everybody, all the other bees, that it's stung and it's attacking something. And the other bees can smell that and get agitated and start to go to that point and sting you.
And keep on stinging.
Yeah, and keep attacking you at that point.
But a wasp will just sting and then it goes off and it grows another sting.
Bees are bait. It won't lose its sting.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not going to... It has no... It's quite a selfish being now. It just has no purpose other than for its own sugars.
Yeah.
It can get itself. That's all it's after. The rest of it is basically... It's done its time. It's done its purpose. This is its time off.
I like your shed, but it's unpleasant being in here with a load of wasps. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's not the most
No, but-
nicest of things.
We were talking, but you've overcome your fear of wasps.
I haven't. I really haven't.
Well, the microphone wasn't shaking. Just
It's only because I'm covered in boiler suit and massive gloves and stuff. So that's your smoker.
Yeah, I've just put some... I'm just trying to get it going here.
And the smoker would subdue the bees.
Yeah, I think there's lots of reasons, I think. One of the things is, if you ever look at, say, in Africa, when they smoke bees in trees, have you ever seen that? They usually get a bunch of branches and waft them, and set fire to them and waft them at the bees. And I think they're simulating a forest fire.
Gotcha.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if in the wild you have a forest fire, the first thing you want to do is save the colony. So the idea is that you go down and you feed, and you have a honey stomach as well as a normal stomach, or you have a honey stomach that you put your honey into to save the colony. So everyone rushes down like you would do in your own house fire. You go for the things that matter the most.
Grab your
to you.
valuables, yeah.
And that's their valuables, their honey. So they go and eat it, but it's a bit like you after a full meal, roast dinner on Sunday. You're full, and because you're slightly full, you're quite docile.
Yeah.
So you can't be bothered in attacking.
Okay.
Yeah? So you're more docile, and that's the trick. So this is the first trick, smoke. Right.
Usually in Africa they're hanging off the side of a cliff or something
Oh,
like
they
that
are,
as
yeah,
well. So I'm
yeah.
quite glad, even though this is quite steep, it's not a cliff.
No, we're not on a cliff. Now this is... We've taken the honey off. Yeah? And these are just... so there's a honeybee.
All right.
But that's wax that you make candles out of.
Okay, and so is that what the honeycomb's made out of?
Yeah.
Is that like the back of it or something?
That's the capping.
So
when they cap the honey,
yeah,
they cap it with the wax, and that wax is basically that, and I cut it off and melt it down, and then I leave it for them to feed on.
So they eat that?
No,
eat wax?
they produce it.
Oh, right.
You know, like we have earwax?
Yeah.
Similar to that.
Yeah.
But they produce it in the back of a... Only the young do it, only the baby bees do it.
Only baby bees produce wax?
Yeah.
And can you actually eat that?
Go
Is
on
that
then.
in hunt? No. Well, I've got my helmet thing on, so I don't want to... But that's not in honey or anything, so when you get a jar of honey, there's none of that?
Depends if it's... you can get honeycomb
Yeah.
with wax and honey in it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, in jars.
Well, that's wax.
And can you eat that?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that old bubble gum you used to get. You know that bubble gum? Big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you chew that.
Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it tastes like that.
Nice.
Very sweet. And of course, you should never swallow it.
No, because it goes into your stomach and ties it in knots and you die.
Yeah.
It's a good job we're scientific.
Oh, it is. We're full of things. This is 5 of them.
How many hives have you got?
At the moment, I've got 5, but this is now. You see here,
Yeah.
that one there. I'll find a way. There. Now, that one there. You see those slightly bigger? There. That one there.
Keeps on
That
going
big
in
one,
and out.
that black one. You'll see the difference.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, they're males.
Oh, right.
So they're
okay.
called drones. The rest of these ladies, these are all ladies. Yes?
So there's men and women bees.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were all men except for the queen or something.
Ah, wrong way round. The queen is female, all the ladies are female, and the men she produces.
Oh, right.
Yeah? Now, the men are surplus to requirement now because they've done their business back in May, June. But they're just there. This is probably the only one that's got any in because she's produced some for some reason.
Okay, so the size difference, it's not, well, that one, is that a man
That's
one?
a drone, yeah.
Oh, okay, and they're drones?
Drones, yeah.
Yeah, and that would be about
Well,
about a centimetre or so long.
Yeah.
And then the others are just slightly smaller.
Solid
so
smaller.
that's
Bigger heads, if you notice. There's one coming out.
Yeah.
Almost like got a furry jacket on.
Huge, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a bumblebee, but not quite as round.
Yeah, verging on that. But there they are. There's a male. Just on the there. Now
and they're coming out of
they don't really have a sting.
And they're coming out of a hole that's about
I've reduced down the hole because of the wasps.
Oh, I see.
So you have less wasps, less honeybees.
That's getting weird when you call them people.
I know.
Just for a minute.
Yeah. No,
just for a minute.
I look at it as a high-rise flat anyway. If your lifts don't work and there's rubbish everywhere, that's when they'll start revolting. So you've got to look after them to make sure they're quite happy.
Yeah.
Else they won't pay their taxes. And they'll be protesting on the streets.
So you've covered that over.
I've reduced it down.
A small gap.
So there's less guard bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can do more foraging. And that means and also it's protecting them from the wasps, because wasps are just out for sugar, and if they can get in there, they can just cause mayhem.
Right.
So the less around, the better. And of course, there's none, is there?
But a wasp would go in, just try and get some. Yeah, he's just try after a bit of honey.
Bits of dead carcass, eggs, or anything like that. He's just after something down there, because when they under here. Down on the floor outside. There's all the detritus.
Oh, wow.
And
that's where they've cleaned out the hive.
Yep. So those are all the bits of old bee and everything that they throw out.
Yeah.
And they just chuck it all out. And if we look very carefully, you'll find a bee that's designated, or bees that are designated as undertaker bees. And so they look after this, and they tidy it all up or throw it away.
Yeah.
So everything has a job. So they all have little jobs to do.
That's really weird.
Right, isn't it?
Well, it is if you've not seen one before. It's like you just think that bees go and fly in and fly out.
No, they all
and
have
stick
jobs.
Honey in a jar, pretty much.
Yeah. No, they all have jobs to do.
The Casimir engine, reliably mediocre.
Scrubby heathland at the edge of the woods, bountiful white briny in its chalky soil, succulently shining. As long tendrils spring from side to side, the stalks of vine-shaped leaves prickle rough to the touch their exotic order. In the month of May do they bloom, 3, 4, as small greenish together they bunch. Corollas of 5 petals cohering at the base, the outer green calyx bell-shaped and 5-toothed. When withering stem and leaves, so hangs the berries, of pale scarlet their hue, when ripe like in peas laden with juice. In southeast England, so prominent they grow, the scrubby grassland, sandy soil, bringing monolectic Andrena florea to exclusively forage, sipping on nectar sweet the nearby umbellifers and juicy bramble. This medium-sized univoltine species is a solitary soul that in May to August takes flight. Bands of red across the mining bee distinction give, burrowing, building tunnels underground, creating chambers to nest, but once a year one brood, one offspring make, creating little noise for pollination. As present day, they are expanding.
That was the fantastic Forgotten Bee. If you want to get in touch with her, you can get in touch with her at forgottenbeeblog.wordpress.com. That was passed on to me by the fab Lemonade Kid. So you've got, how many did you say? 5?
5, yeah.
5 hives?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
22 years.
Oh, right, okay then. I thought you were going to say 5 years or something like that. So 22 years. You don't look old enough.
Cheers.
That's like,
Yeah.
it's like radio.
I know. I just started.
Radio Derby.
You start to realise that without it, 1 in 3 mouthfuls of all our food is produced by pollination.
1 in every
1 in 3 mouthfuls of food.
mouthfuls.
Yes,
Yeah.
of food that we eat as humans is produced by pollination,
By bees.
by insects.
Oh, by insects.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that a fact?
Why is that a fact?
Yeah.
Because if we lose our insects, we lose our lives.
Just plant-based product.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, plant-based product feeds everything that we
feeds
have. It feeds
yeah.
our beef, it feeds our sheep, it feeds everything. It's fruits, it's vegetables, it's everything. And you can't have one without the other. If we don't work with insects, we will lose out, big time.
Now, everybody's talking about a disease that's killing bee hives.
I'll show you, should I?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Come around the back. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm treating them on their second treatment. Now, if I take this tray out, on here,
So we've got a white tray, about a foot square, something like that.
yeah, and if I look very carefully, you won't be able to see it. Let me just see, get it into the light. There's not much fall actually, because it's pretty good at the moment. There. You see that?
Yeah. There's a little black. So there's a lot of like yellowy kind of
you see them now. You can see them. There, there.
Yeah.
These are Varroa.
Oh, what? Sorry.
It's Varroa.
Varroa.
Varroa mite. It came in basically, I think, through imports and exports
Of
bees. Yeah, and it travelled through, and before we realised what was happening, it had spread everywhere. So I've got quite a small fall on here. There's not many at all, so which is a good sign. But here you see them.
Yeah.
They're like little crabs.
Yeah.
And they hook on to the bee and they feed off its blood. But also they introduce other things into the bee itself.
Like a bacteria or something.
Yeah, similar to that. They can infect it. They can create different types of disease, and which
Yeah, it
can
looks
wipe
like
out your
a minute ladybird or something like that.
It's like, if you look at it very close, it's like a little crab.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see them there. There's
Yeah.
one. You might, but these brown. These are not usually brown. They're brownless because they're dead. And underneath here, in the bottom of here, I can't show you.
Yeah.
But underneath, if I tap it, there's a mesh.
Okay.
So anything falling off doesn't land on the floor; it falls through the floor. Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then because it's a parasite, it needs contact with its prey. Yeah, so it needs to be in contact with the bee at all times, and it can only last a few seconds.
Yeah.
Or a short period of time, I should say.
Not being on a bee.
Yeah, else it dies, and that's why they've died, because then they go black or brown. But sometimes you can find them alive that they've just fallen. There's none here.
So how? I mean, there's a few on that card.
Yeah.
How do you know that you've got an infestation? Is it
because you'll put some in and you'll get a massive drop.
A drop of numbers of bees?
Well, you'll get a massive drop of bees, but you also get a massive drop in there because they'll react to it. I use an organic treatment.
Yeah.
Which basically affects the colony. Not affect the colony, but it will affect the varroa mite, and they'll fall off. And you keep on top of it by keep watching it.
Yeah.
And counting and making sure you haven't got a massive amount of varroa fall onto the frame. So from there you'll be able to know whether you've got a massive infestation or not.
And you mentioned that this was due to imports of bees.
Possibly, yeah.
So why would you import bees? We've got hundreds of bees, or millions of bees.
Yeah, different types of bee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So more productive bees from Europe, or
possibly.
Yeah.
People just wanting bees from all around the world.
Okay.
Yeah, and also you think about you're not importing honey. You were talking about that earlier on.
Yeah. We're saying that I thought it was illegal for you to bring a jar of honey.
I don't know about this.
To Hungary.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of honey over there.
Yeah.
And we were told that you're not really supposed to bring honey back into the UK.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but
Well, it could be the same sort of reason.
yeah,
I mean, we didn't know about Varroa until it was here, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And then we regretted it because now we have to treat them.
yeah. But they've got it in Europe.
Varroa.
Varroa.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I don't
And-
think it's in... where is it? There's a few places it isn't. I don't think it's in New Zealand,
Okay.
I think, or Australia. I'm not sure.
And is there's a problem in Europe with it? Or
Well, it
or
comes from
those
Asia
bees?
originally.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's come from there. And unless you've got strict import regulations, like Australia or New Zealand have, we missed out.
Yeah.
We cocked up, basically. So I think we're overcautious now with things like honey, but I don't know the science behind it. There could be things in the honey that could live
Yeah.
and affect our bees. So we have to be more careful.
Okay. And nothing we can do about it. It's here and
It's here, and we've got to put up with it.
Yeah.
A bit like lots of other things in this country. So I'm going to open the colony now, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Have
So
I
if there's
stand
any-
back?
No, I mean, it's a good colony, this. Oh, it was. How's that? It's a bit on the edge. It's a good colony, but if you've got a problem and you feel a bit... just walk backwards. Don't wave
Run.
your arms anywhere or anything like that.
Okay.
Just walk backwards.
Scream?
No, inwardly.
Okay, before you lift the lid again, you keep on lifting the lid and I keep on coming up with another
I'm
question.
putting your hand on it, holding it back.
Why is it a good colony? Just good producer? Or?
Well, no, the queens are good. The queen in here is good.
Yeah.
And she's basically, if you've got a good queen, you've got a good colony.
Yeah.
And that's how it works, because she produces all the workers. And she also produces a pheromone, which suppresses the colony.
Yeah.
Keeps it happy. So that's... And as long as they've got what they want, then they're happy, you see. So it's like everything. It's about a block of flats. The lifts work,
Yeah.
and the refuge is taken away.
22 years ago,
Yeah.
you went, I'm going to have some bees.
I worked for a chap, actually, and he had 6 hives, and he said he wanted to...
Oh,
and
right.
I said, I'm not really interested. And Angie said, I'd like some bees. So Angie said, I'll do the beekeeping. So then I got the colony, and she looked after it. But she had an allergic reaction to the bees,
Oh, right.
so she couldn't look after them.
Yeah.
And so
What,
at
the
one
sting?
point, yeah,
Yeah.
when she got stung, it was allergic
Yeah.
reaction to it, and so she couldn't look after them. So she used to stand up about 10 yards away,
Yeah.
shouting instructions at me.
Yeah, nothing's changed in 22 years.
So from there, I just took it on. But I think it's a certain type of person who can do it.
Yeah.
You've got to have a certain kind of nature that you're not going to panic and you're not going to worry.
Really strange question. So 22 years
So,
ago,
I think
you
it's
found where would you get a queen from if you got?
Well, there's places online, or there's places you can go and buy them.
Oh right, you go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
buy a queen.
Yeah, I bought a queen a few years ago, and it cost me 60 quid.
No way.
Yeah, she's lasted 4 years, and from there I've bred from her 1, 2, 3 other queens here now.
I didn't know there was like a bee queen shop or something.
No,
like
they sell honeybees as well.
Yeah.
So you can buy a nucleus, they're called, of honeybees for
Yeah.
about 200 quid.
Yeah. Or do you keep your eyes open for them in a tree?
Yeah, you can look
Yeah.
for swarms.
Yeah, you can look for swarms.
Or you
Are
bring-
there wild bees then still?
There are actually, yes. I came across one the other week. There's
Yeah.
feral colonies, yeah, still.
Yeah. And can you use those for making honey?
No, you can actually, because they've survived Varroa,
Yeah.
there's a best chance that there'll be a healthier bee,
Oh right.
because they've survived on their
Yeah.
own without treatments.
Yeah.
So they're resilient. They're good cleaners. They have good traits.
Yeah.
So people are looking out for good traits in bees.
Yeah.
To help protect them, because it's better if instead of us giving them chemicals all the time, it's better if they did it for themselves, isn't it?
So do they like
A bit like antibiotics with us.
Yeah. But is it not? There's no interbreeding or anything like that. You get
They've just survived because they
Yeah.
have done. It's just like nature, isn't
Yeah.
it? Nature finds a way to survive
Yeah,
or
the
die.
fittest,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you going to lift that lid?
I will do. Yeah,
Are you?
yeah, I can do. There's nothing in it.
There's nothing there. I think I might have made a mess in your boiler suit. And there's a quarry tile on top and the lid.
Each second loops in mental revisitation, flinching hands over glass ledges, and words will claim were never spoken, through unsolicited blushes and table-hidden touch, adrenaline anticipation, and the suffocation of knowing that across the dimension, if we could sidle through the gaps between each universe, cradled in blankets of predetermined soul-told stardust, each park-lit walk, each skittish giggle, every half-brushed inch of skin, maybe, could be, life existent beyond the forbidden. And maybe that's why, in pastiche daydream memory, as my mouth finds mimicry of our suppression-led grin, I don't recall the moment our eyes met. Those moodstone constellations stay firmly planted on hesitant ground, neither of us so far taken with irresponsibility to let those galaxies ruinously collide. In this universe, a what if will remain enough.
That is the beautiful Rose and Cloud. You can find them at roseandcloud.com. It's Emily Rose Galvin and John McLeod, and they're from Staffordshire.
Hedge trimming has meant hedgerows have never looked so smart. But a neat and tidy bush isn't always the best thing for wildlife.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast.
We've got them going in there. See if we can get some noise. I don't know whether I will.
There you will.
You think?
Listen to this in midwinter and it takes back. It's a really magical sound.
So are bees around in winter then, or do they hibernate? Or did
have
they
you
die?
ever seen the David Attenborough? You see all these penguins in the middle of...
yeah, they all stand together.
They all stand together, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what they do is they rotate, don't they? They rotate from the out in, so they'll all keep warm.
Yeah.
The same in here. They stay in a bundle, in a sort of a group, but they rotate round, so they all keep warm. And in the centre will be the queen, and they rotate round the frames. So they're feeding all the time.
And how long does a queen last for then?
Maximum about 3 years, maybe 4 years if you're lucky, depending on it, on the queen.
Oh, I didn't think it'd be that long. I thought it'd be like 12 months at maximum or something like that.
Strolls from the playground's end. It's all there is, and it's this life's chance. You gotta go beyond and dance, he said, and I would amend. The echo of your cry, still under Savior in my ears. I look ahead to simply guess you're out there with your divine shine. I break into the minds unknown, the silver lining of what I owe. A time I need to bite to hear little Indians cry. Parallel lines that we stuck to each time we meet, and I bleed, and an illusion to know you, like a flower seed in such a need of water to bloom, and wondering if I'll ever do. I'm breaking to the minds unknown, the silver lining of what I own. Time I need to bite to hear little Indians cry.
the incredible Ines Herrmann. She's from Dresden, and you can get in touch with her at, I'm going to spell this out, INESHERRMANN.EU. And that'll take you to, it's a pretty good website as well. I was just looking to see if she was doing any touring, but fortunately, if you live in Germany, she's doing a lot of touring up until Christmas. But she's not over in the UK. But you can get her on live dates at the Neustadt Arts Festival, which is coming up very soon. And if you want to contact her, she's on Twitter at Ines Herrmann, INESHERRMANNEU, and you'll be able to find her on Twitter.
8 out of 10 listeners voted the Casimir Engine Show podcast the best podcast in the world.
So if you look, if we go to the side, just out the sun, so let the sun down, you'll see on our back legs.
I'm on there.
Yeah. You'll see on our back legs, not many here at the moment, but you see honey, yellow little bags.
Is honey pollen?
Yeah, so the pollen means they've been foraging. You see orange there?
Yeah.
And you see yellow in a bit. And more drones. There, orange there.
Yeah.
That's the pollen. So that means they've been to the flowers and they've picked up the pollen, and their honey stomachs will be full of honey that they're going to deposit. So you can see that they're foraging.
Right, so they go out, they go into a flower.
Yeah.
They get the pollen off the flower.
No, they get the honey. They're after the sugars. The pollen is a byproduct, but the pollen they use to feed their young. So I'll show you inside, but they store it in a part of the hive where they store it as bread. And the bread, they make a sort of bread pate, and they feed it to their young, as well as the sugar, as well as the honey. Yeah.
Wow, this is really like a massive site. What are they doing?
What they do, right?
There's a lady.
This is amazing. You see, he's biting. This is a lady with a man.
Yeah.
She's this time of year. They don't want the drones.
Okay.
Because the queen can make them when she wants. So this time of year, they kick them out.
Right.
And what they usually do is they bite their wings off.
Oh.
And kick them out.
Right.
And then they just die. So you might see that today.
Yeah.
See, there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out. We don't want you anymore. All you do is eat.
Yeah, it's just chasing it,
and
it's
to
just
have sex.
It's just that's just thrown. Like, so the smaller bees just thrown it onto the floor.
That's right.
That's incredible.
And so they're getting rid of the males because they don't need them to go through winter because it's surplus to requirement. Because the queen can make the males as she wants.
Yeah.
Because it's a female-controlled colony.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You've got a wasp on you.
I know. That's a wood wasp. You see it smaller?
Yeah.
Slightly twitchier, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it can't get in. It has to go through the entrance.
And it won't go...
No. Because with a smaller entrance, obviously, you can have less bees to protect it.
Yeah.
So more can be foraging.
So what we've got a base, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, these two are empty.
Yeah.
These are going to be left for winter. Yeah. So I leave them on a brood and a half, so that's a brood chamber.
Yeah.
And a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here is one that I'm leaving full of. So they're basically left with 2 full supers of honey. Yes, on a full colony, and then these 2 come off. But as I extracted the honey out of this, I can't take it all out, so I give it back to them.
Yeah.
And they clean it out. That's why all the stuff they exclude all the containers over there are out in the sun, because they've cleaned all those off for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they've gone over and got it off.
Yeah, they've cleaned it all
out.
off, and then they bring it back to the colony and put it back in. So there's no waste at all.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So last week we lost the fabulous Rick Okazek from the Cars, and I didn't think you could ever cover a classic. But the incredible Grey Disorder, he's only gone and done it. It's Drive.
Who's gonna tell you when it's too late? Who's gonna tell you things aren't so late?
That's the Grey Disorder. That's Lance from Ontario. He's in Whitby, in Ontario. I didn't even know that existed. That was a fabulous cover of Drive.
So this is empty at the moment because it's not full of anything.
Okay.
So can you smell it?
Oh yeah.
Now that.
Yeah, that's rich, isn't it?
That is, unfortunately, it's not what you think it is. That is the treatment, which is thyme. So it's basically thyme. But you see how they're in there, they're all cleaning it all out. So these
I can really smell it. So that you put thyme in there?
Yeah, it's a treatment, organic treatment. And you can't put it in when the honey's in. Obviously, it'll take the honey. But they're cleaning it all out, you see. There's nothing in there. They're just going through it, tidying it up. And when it gets cold...
But it does smell sweet.
Yeah, there's a mixture. You can smell the wax, but you can also smell... You can also smell the treatment.
That thyme.
Yeah.
So that's an organic solution to the
problem.
Yeah.
And it seems to work. It reduces them down. Now at the moment, you see, they're not interested in me at all. They'll be all over my gloves otherwise. Yeah?
Yeah, they're just minding their own business.
So this will come off. It's not going into...
That is really strong now of honey.
So these are just empties.
Here's a technical question. While you're doing that then, I asked you before, why are all the holes hexagon shaped, not just round holes?
I was waiting for you to ask.
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's just the shape. The interesting thing about it is they all slope down as well.
They all slope down?
Yeah, I'll show you. If you look down, it basically goes down that way.
Oh yeah, we're looking at a honeycomb.
Yeah.
It's like a dark brown colour.
Yeah.
And the hexagony or pentagon. Is it pentagon? Yeah, pentagon. Is it hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Are there 5? I can't count. Sending my eyes a bit bonkers.
6. 6.
I don't know. Is that a hex? Yeah, that's hexagon, isn't it? And they slope backwards.
So that anything falls down into it, so the honey or the egg will slip down to the bottom.
Oh, wow.
So they can pour it in.
And what they do is they'll put a baby in one of them.
Yeah,
So in every single one of those?
Yeah, I'll show you. So, what you're looking at now...
I'm all excited, aren't I? Tell me to calm down if you...
That's all right. This is a queen excluder. Now,
all right.
Queen
so this is a grid.
This is the man's trick.
Yeah.
To stop the queen laying in those. She can't get through. Abdomen can't fit through that slot.
So why don't you want her to lay...
Because you can't take the honey out, because it's full of eggs.
Because it's got eggs in it.
Yeah.
So the honey that you produce is
Just
in
honey.
like the incubator without the baby in it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's how you get your honey off. Without
grubs in it.
Yes.
I thought you'd have a sieve, but that's the sieve, isn't it? Really? I thought you'd have a sieve.
That's the sieve for the queen. So the queen is stopped from getting through there, so she can't lay in there.
Yeah.
But they don't figure that out, so they just fill it up with stores. And then we take that off.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just going to take this off. Wait a bit. Right. So I'll just blow a bit of smoke over it. Yeah. I don't think there'll be much in this one.
So you're lifting the honeycomb out.
Yeah. So you can see the honey in there, can't you?
Okay. And some of them are capped off with... Is that capped off
they're
with more
capped
wax?
off with wax, yeah, because it's ready. They've extracted the moisture out of it.
And is there a baby one in there then?
I'll show you the babies later. They'll be further down.
So but you've got the queen stopper above this one.
Yeah, queen excluder, yeah.
Yep.
Now, if I just put that on, yeah, I don't want this going to queen to go in there. Because potentially she could be in here.
Okay.
But as I'm not looking for her...
Do you know, I was hoping I wasn't going to get stung today.
Oh, you've been stung?
Yeah, I've just trod on a little nettles.
Well done. But they stick it down.
Wow, yeah, that is sticky.
Now this is tree resin.
How do you mean tree resin?
You know, like you get resinous trees like pine?
Yeah, like amber and stuff.
Yeah, look at it, all around here. It's a glue. And they use it to fix everything together.
Wow.
Yeah. So they use a resin.
So it's like no nails.
It is, it's no nails. There's a wasp going in. I'm just going to remove these for a minute so I can get into here.
That's chock-a-block full of bees.
Yeah, but I know it is, yeah. I'm just going to take this eek, they call it, which is a nice word.
It is a nice word.
So now you're into the brood and a half. So at the moment you can hear them, can you?
Yeah. This is a lovely thing to do.
It is a lovely thing. When the hive's like this, it's a good hive. I wouldn't take you into a nasty hive.
Why? What would a nasty hive?
Well, put it this way, you'd be stunned by now.
Really?
Yeah, they go straight through your gloves.
No. These are like gauntlet, leather gauntlet. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Evil bees.
Yeah. Just a minute. So when I smoke them, and you'll see how it works. Yeah?
Oh, they're kind of...
They go down.
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes when I look at it, I'm thinking, I wonder if it's because they get smoke in their eyes.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, they tend to scarper down into the...
So I'm only going to take one out,
Yeah.
or try and find you something interesting.
Why would one hive be Psycho hive, and then this hive
the queen? So there's the eggs.
There's just hundreds of bees.
Hundreds of bees.
Is that a grub coming out there?
Yeah, it's probably a damaged grub, unfortunately. I caught it when I came out, which is unfortunate. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I flick it over. There. And there's the queen. Can you see her?
Where's that? That
very
one?
centre.
Right in the middle there?
Yeah, that's the queen there.
Okay, she's a bit longer again.
Yeah, no, it's not lucky on the first frame. Sometimes it takes hours to find them.
Well, we were looking, because when I first came round, they were in the tree. They'd swarmed in the tree over there. And we were trying to see, I couldn't
She
tell
doesn't
the
like the
difference
dark,
between
so
any
I'm going to turn it back over. She doesn't like the light, so I'll turn her into the dark.
Yeah.
Like so. So, the trick when you're a beekeeper is what you're looking for is day-old brood. Means a couple of things. One is you've got a queen, because she's just laid. And the other is that you know what's happening in the hive. You know that everything is happy. If you see eggs, you know that everyone is happy. So what you're looking for is day-old brood, and I'm going to try and find you some. Now, that's capped, so it's nothing in it. But if you can just hold that, you'll see with the weight of it.
Holy moly. So that's just like
that's honey.
A fairly light timber frame.
Yeah.
About a foot long. And that weighs a couple of pound?
Yeah, maybe. And that's their honey for winter.
So you don't take this out because it's got grubs in it?
Well, that one hasn't, but she's laying over there at the moment. I'm just going to check through here.
So is there nothing behind those capped?
Yeah, there's eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there'll be eggs in those. So that's actually glistening honey there.
Yeah.
All for winter. So she seems to be laying that way, so if we were to take that one up...
Oh, so she lays in a direction as well?
Well, you might find that, so I'll just go either side and have a look.
I don't know why I'm acting so surprised, because...
Now, if you look at the
that really
there,
is glistening with honey, isn't it?
Yeah. What I'm trying to show you is, it's probably better to go on the outside. I'll just take the outside one. What they do is they usually put the eggs, the pollen on the outside edge.
That is really sticky trying to get that out.
It's all tree resin. So, there, look at that. That's different colours of tree pollen. Of flower pollen, should I say.
Yeah. And
that is, they store all the pollen for the making into bread for the babies.
Okay.
Yeah, and the same on that side. You see it all?
Yeah.
So that's your bakery.
Okay. So that's the food for the grubs?
Yeah.
Is that
and also for them.
Oh, okay.
You know, they will use it as well, but they predominantly, when they start out, the young get that to start off with. And they all have stages of jobs in the colony. And the final job is to fly out and harvest the flowers. So you go through stages of different jobs.
So one of the questions I got for you then.
Yeah.
The flowers the flowers that they go to.
Yeah.
Do they have to be like Well, they'll go to roses and all that kind
They'll
of stuff.
go to anything. Yeah.
Anything at all, even
Yeah, they have.
tropical plant type
They
thing.
like a flatter flower.
Yeah.
So, do you know what sedum are?
Yeah.
They're with its nice flat.
Yeah.
They love flat things like that.
Yeah.
So they'll love that kind of thing.
Okay.
But they'll go for anything.
Yeah, we've got oregano. Sounds
Yeah,
well
yeah, they love
fancy,
that.
doesn't it? They
Yeah.
love oregano in the garden.
Yeah, they love that.
But they'll go to a tropical plant or whatever, doesn't matter. No. They're not fussy.
Not at all.
Is there anything that you don't want them to go to?
Nope.
Anything
I
at all?
can't stop them anyway.
No, true. You can't go and kill every plant ever.
After I've gone, they'll go around and there'll be a tree resin party that will go around and glue it all back up again. They do.
Will they have to go out and get it again?
Yeah. Oh, they'll reharvest it.
Yeah.
But you might have heard of it, propolis.
Propolis?
You ever heard of it? They use it
No.
in a lot of medicines.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sore throats.
What, the tree resin?
Yeah,
from
the tree resin.
that bees have already...
The bees harvest it and then they put
Then they make it into...
Then they make it into glue and
Yeah.
we harvest it and people use it. We use everything out of this. We use this for candles.
Yeah.
We use the wax for candles and joinery. I'm trying to think of things they'll use it for.
Yeah.
Lots of things. Tie-dye, I don't know.
Tie-dye?
Well, wax in the tie-dyes, isn't it?
I'm not sure they've
I'm
done
not
tie-dye
sure.
for a few years.
Yeah, anyway.
I know we live in Matlock and it's a bit of a back of beyond, but even I know they don't do tie-dye anymore. We might not actually. In your defence, we don't have to go too far back, do we? Because it was tie-dye in the 80s, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, for the Manchester thing.
Who was it? Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, thank you.
Yeah, I got you out of that. It's all right.
Cheers.
It's what I do.
Oh, good.
Let that one go back in.
It's not going to,
It's not, is it?
Got it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's basically it.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for showing me a nice hive and not the psycho hive.
Yeah, well, I haven't really got a psycho hive, but I've got ones that are a bit more frisky than others.
So you've been doing this 22 years.
Yeah.
Have you been stung yet?
Oh, many times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
It can do.
Yeah.
I used to react, and I don't anymore.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't.
What happened with your reaction?
I just swell up, it was itchy.
Yeah?
Nothing serious.
Oh,
though.
right. No
no
tightening of the
major
throat or
breathing
anything
or
like
anything,
that?
no. Which is always a good sign. It shows that you've got, But now I get stung, nothing really happens because I've been stung so many times. My body's sort of built up an
immunity. You're part B.
Yes. You asked me earlier about this one, about how much does one bee produce.
Yes.
It's about half a teaspoon in their life.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were just about to say 100 weight or something like that. One bee, half a teaspoon.
Yeah, in its lifetime.
And a hive in a year?
Depending on what's available, the weather, the queen, lots of variables in there.
Yeah.
But you could usually get between 30, maybe 25, 30 to 100 pounds of honey.
A year?
Yeah.
From half a teaspoon
No,
per
for
bee?
one colony.
Yeah, per bee. You got half a teaspoon per bee in its life, did you say?
Yeah.
And they only last a year?
What, no.
No, the queens last longer.
The queen lasts 3 years, maybe 4 years.
And the workers?
Not this time of year, but height of summer, there'll be 60,000 bees in here.
Yeah. And how long do they last?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
And then she has to keep on laying
She
through
lays
the
constantly,
season?
yeah.
Oh, right. Oh,
And
I
then
thought they'd all come out in spring or something, and then they last all.
No.
So every 6 weeks, new bees.
Not this time of year. She's now laying for winter, and they'll live longer.
Yeah.
Of course, they won't. They'll live over winter and protect her.
Yeah.
So they'll live until next March, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a burrower it only lives on bees.
That I know of.
Yeah.
I've never seen them on anything else. I think it's because of the life cycle. Most, I think all are laid on drones because of the length of the gestation period for the drone. It suits the varroa mite. but not the worker. The worker's short. So you'll only find varroa mites eggs or little larvae in drones.
Okay.
So this time of year it's petering off because there isn't any.
And on the cards that you keep on taking out, it's just the detritus and a bit of pollen and...
Yeah, bits and pieces. And
Yeah.
I'm just seeing if I can see the shiny heads of these varroa mite that are dead. Then I can sort of get an idea of how many. But there's not... There's probably 20 or 30 there. And that's about it.
And what would you expect if it was? It would just be covered, like you said earlier.
It could be covered, yeah.
covered.
When it first hit, back many years ago, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
There were just almost piles.
And is
there
there
wasn't piles, but it basically just decimated because there was no. It's a bit like a pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the best way of putting it.
And you're using an organic method to treat it. Is there a chemical method?
There's
the
plenty
big
of chemical methods.
Yeah. And that's what the big guys would be.
Possibly,
the big producers.
Yeah, but they take the honey off first.
Yeah.
So you'll take your honey off, then treat.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't do it otherwise. And that's the problem with things like you get people China. Their honey's banned, I think, from this country because of antibiotics.
Oh right.
That they're putting in the honey in the colonies. That's then coming through to the honey.
Yeah, and that would go into the food
chain.
chain. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of depressing things. They've actually found plastic particles, nanoparticles in honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is small, isn't it?
Yeah. So plastic is everywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think there's any turning back on that story, is there?
I'm afraid not. But that's all part of the thing. Now, if you look here, you can see that something's going on. You see the 3 bees looking at one bee?
Yeah.
Now that bee, you asked me the question about it. Can all the bees go into the colonies?
Yes.
Well, that one there has got a suspect password.
Oh.
Basically, it smells differently.
Yeah.
And when it was confronted by the guards, they basically don't believe it's from that colony. So they're checking it out.
And the other one looks like it's really being...
Yeah, it's got its
submissive.
Abdomen, its sting pointed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's submissive.
And do you think it's... Well, it's not attacking. Do you think it's just made a mistake?
It could have made a mistake, or it's lost, or it's just the fact that it's forgotten the password.
Yeah.
There's a wasp trying to get in.
He's trying everywhere to get in.
Oh, there's plenty. But they can't get in, you see, that's the thing.
But would they let that bee in?
They might do eventually if they...
Yeah. If it's not a threat.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend a while watching them, actually. They have a whole sort of... You're right.
Yeah, I think so.
They have a whole different system checking things out. But if you notice, there's no drones here at all.
No.
So you're lucky in some respects that one over there has got a couple of drones in, or a few drones.
But they seem to be flying in with more pollen. I've just seen a few that's gone in with...
Yeah. See, they've got a little bit of white on the back of his head.
Yeah.
That's heather.
So can you taste the different flavours in the...
Well, each super has a different honey, but it's whether you have the effort and the time to separate each frame off.
Okay.
So each frame has a different honey, but it's a bit like you were showing me that Waitrose honey.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's from all EU and non-EU countries.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that in here. Everything has got a season to it, so there won't be any apple in there, blossom, but there'll be other things this time of year.
Oh right, so in the when the apple blossoms out, you've got an apple tree there.
Yeah.
They'll feed off that, and that first batch of honey.
Yeah,
will be
flavoured.
Yeah.
Yeah, with apple blossom.
Okay.
But there's no point. I'm not really going after that, and I haven't got the time to go in and just separate.
Yeah.
People do, like they'll take them to the heather.
Yeah.
Because it's a distinct flavour.
And they'll leave them in a field of heather or whatever.
To get the heather.
Yeah.
But I don't move mine at all. They just stay here.
And they'll find their way back to the hive.
Yeah. They have a thing like, you know how birds fly?
Yeah.
Biomagnetics?
Yeah.
Bees do the same.
I was hoping you were going to say ley lines or something.
Well, to some degree it could be a bit. I mean, they did this thing on pigeons where they actually followed roads.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, they've got a good sat-nav.
Yeah.
But they follow roads and rivers.
Okay.
And bees do, to some degree, use magnetics. I mean, they say there's a 3-foot rule. That if I move that colony 3 foot that way, it won't find it.
What, the bees won't come back to that?
No, they won't find it. They'll come back to that point there. I have to move that 5 miles at least.
Oh, right.
Or else they'll come back to this point at night.
But if you move it 5 miles, they'll go back to that one?
I've got to move it over 5 miles. Or over 3 miles. It used to be the rule of 3.
Yeah.
Over 3 miles from here. So, if I move that over there, they'll come back to this point. So it has to be over 3 to 5 miles away.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back to where I've just put it. Or else, if it's less than that, they might come back to this point because they'll find it.
Yeah.
And they locate. You won't see it this time of year, but once the bees reach a certain age, they're then released out to go foraging, and they fly like this in front of the colony, like this, and they're sort of fixing where it is.
So left to right in front of the colony.
And then they do a spiral round the colony up,
yeah.
And then they locate themselves down to that point.
They're clever, aren't they?
Damn clever.
Yeah.
You know,
and
if you're going to take a hobby up and you've got no problems with with stings, as long as you have a good queen, you can't go far wrong.
How many would you have to have? Do you have to have? You've got 5 again.
Mm-hmm.
Do they need to have a community like this, or
No.
is that the community in one? So you could just
is.
have one hive. Yeah.
They will know these exist. The other colonies exist.
Yeah.
But you know, unless they really want to, they won't. Unless they're being attacked, or they will. If you've got a genetic fault in the queen saying she wants to steal off other colonies, they won't go and interfere with the other colonies.
I know I've asked many, many stupid questions.
Sure.
Here comes the big one.
Right.
Do they recognise you, do you think?
They might recognise your
scent.
smell.
Yeah.
Well, they can't hear.
They can't hear anything?
No.
Okay.
They have no hearing. That's why you're supposed to tell all your fears to the bees. You never heard that one?
No.
You're supposed to talk to bees.
Yeah.
And tell them all your fears.
Right.
Because they can't hear.
Oh.
It's an old wives' tale.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, if you imagine, bees have been around a long time, so the tradition of these old stories go through. So there's that one, but they have tremendous smell, and they smell fear. So if you're scared, they smell it.
And they know.
They know.
And they'll get you, or they'll feel sorry for you.
They will get you.
Oh, right.
Well, put it this way, if this was your house, and you were coming around to have a look inside your house, and you knew you were scared, you'd have a go. So you don't show fear, and you're relaxed around them, and you don't panic.
Yeah.
If you panic, you'll be in trouble. But as you looked into that colony there, they weren't interested in us at all.
No, not at all.
No.
So how long do you think the Egyptians that did all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, in fact, they found honey in the Pharaoh's tomb, didn't they? It was still good.
Now, that was a question.
Yeah.
Is it true honey doesn't go off?
Well, it's sugar, isn't it? So no, it doesn't go off.
Does sugar not go off?
No. That's why you use it as a preservative.
Okay.
Yeah, so alcohol, sugar.
And wine lasts a long time, doesn't it, I suppose?
Can do. So it's
somebody, I think it was something that you hear, that honey's the only food, stuff that doesn't go off.
But also they use it as an antibiotic. The Romans used to have a little jar, and they used to carry it, and they got cuts or bruises, they used to rub honey on it, and it was like sealing it from oxygen. And they used to eat it as well, as a sugar boost.
And royal jelly?
Royal jelly. Now that's an interesting... Royal jelly is made and put into a worker cell. So if you imagine those cells you saw, to make a queen, right?
Yeah.
You have to get royal jelly. So they make royal jelly usually in May time, or if they haven't got a queen, they'll make a queen out of a single egg. Now that egg could either be a worker, a drone, or a queen.
Oh, right.
And it's all dependent on what they feed it.
Okay.
And they feed it a mixture of things, and if you want to make a queen, they will feed it royal jelly, and then it becomes a queen. And that's why people got into royal jelly, because it makes you into a queen.
Right. So obviously, with using that science, it works.
Well, I'm not going to argue with any woman over it.
So it depends what you feed the grub.
Yeah.
In the cell, it just depends what you feed it to what it turns into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But it to some degree, I mean, there's more science in it than that.
Yeah.
But it's basically, yes.
So the grub
but
is...
the chromosomes and the X and Y part, I won't go into, but it's whether it's a male or female egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's also dependent on a few things and if the queen laid it.
Yeah.
If it's raised, it gets more complicated. But basically, yes.
Yeah.
You know.
That's incredible.
So what they feed and what they're fed is what they are. You are what you eat, as you might say.
Definitely.
And royal jelly is one of these skin products that people put on their skin or face or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's
obviously I'm not using it.
Yeah, same here. And that's farmed.
Yeah.
So they farm it by producing colonies like this with lots of queens.
With lots of queens in.
And whether they use the queens, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks ever so much for showing me around your hive.
Well, I hope it's opened up a different look.
I'm not looking at my Fitbit to look how my heartbeat is at the moment, I don't think.
Actually, you've been pretty calm about it.
I've not been too bad, have I? Well, it's since you chopped a tree down and a load
dropped
of
them on
bees
your
fell
head.
on my head,
Yeah.
I've bought some cheap honey
Yeah.
to do a quick taste test.
Yeah.
Shall we go in and
Yeah,
have a
we
quick...
can do, yeah.
So we've managed to disrobe.
Yeah.
And we're out of the beekeeping kit, which I quite like, I've got to say.
Mm.
I'm
Fashion
all right,
accessory or not?
Wearing a uniform.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the ladies.
You never know. You never know. I'm not walking along the street in it, though.
You'll be arrested.
But we've got honey from a posh supermarket.
Unfortunately, I mentioned their name.
Yeah, Waitrose. I don't know whether you can advertise
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Well, if we say Waitrose, they might send me some money.
Doubt it.
I doubt it very much. And then there's some of yours.
Yep.
Which is in, strangely enough, a Gale's. A Gale's honey.
We put it in these because it's actually designed for honey.
Oh, right.
And it doesn't have any spoiling taste like it. That could be Piccalilli.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But when we sell it, we don't put it in these. This is just for our own use.
We went to a posh... it's like a posh shop in Suffolk called Snake Maltings. That sounds posh, doesn't it? Snake Maltings.
Yeah.
And they had those dibber things that are like a stick with a load of
right.
grooves.
Yeah, we've got them.
Why would you use them and not a spoon?
Because it rolls... I'll show you.
Yeah? Carl's just going in to get a bee. Are they called something? They're like it's like a spoon handle with a... that's it. Yeah, it's like... Oh, I did bring me mobile. I can take some pics from the... What's it?
Yeah, it's a honey spoon. And
They're called a honey spoon?
Yeah, and you just dip it in there, but if I put it in ours...
No, well, you're going to get all over your honey spoon, though.
Doesn't matter. That's what it's for.
Oh, true.
Like that, and then you put it round.
Yeah.
And you do that. It's directional.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it drizzles.
My only problem with it is, for want of a better expression, you can't suck it off after you've finished with it.
But you're not supposed to.
Are you not?
Well, no, because it's basically...
Because that's dirty and I shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't. And I bet you put the spoon back in, don't you?
No, I'm not a double dipper. I'm not a double dipper.
Okay.
I'm not a double dipper.
Right.
So we've got these two, and as you were saying, on the label on the back of the Waitrose honey, it says made from honey from EU and non-EU countries.
That's right.
But not China. We don't think we're
non-EU.
using...
I don't know. I doubt if they'll use Chinese.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we do... You do the...
Okay.
There's your spoon.
Yeah.
So this is the Waitrose own brand. So Waitrose Essentials honey.
Should have had a blind tasting, really.
We should have done, really, yeah. Spoonful. And colour-wise, it's golden. It is golden,
Yeah,
isn't it?
but it's slightly syrupy. I think you've got 2 spoons there.
What?
Yeah, 2 spoons.
Oh, I have joined together.
That's
where I couldn't find the other spoon. Right, so...
slightly syrupy. It's got a sort of treacle.
Yeah, golden syrupy kind of.
Yeah.
And thin.
And thin.
And it's gone now.
Yeah, there's no lasting flavour.
No. Okay. So, spoon number 2.
Yep, cheers.
And that's this is yours. Now, obviously, I'm going to say nice things.
Oh, of course.
But you can see from it, does it look grainy, or is they bubbles?
They're bubbles.
Okay. Do you not get, like, sugar grains in it or anything?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got more depth. I'm on the Brown Trumpet. But it's also long,
It lasts longer.
A lot more flavour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your mouth. You can still taste it at the back of your throat.
You can.
It's
better for you as well. It's not been boiled. Whether that's been boiled, I don't know, but we never boil ours.
Oh, is that like pasteurised?
Yeah, you never should put honey on anything you've cooked. Real honey, like that. You should never put it in anything. You should put it in cereals. Anything that's cooked will actually kill the antibiotics or any goodness in it, of course, because you're cooking it.
So if you put it on...
toast is great.
If you put it on, like, ham at Christmas...
Yeah, and stick it in the oven, you mean?
Yeah.
You'll kill it.
Oh, right.
It's not good for that. It's good for things, because if you looked at it as a medicine...
Yeah.
It's probably more beneficial than that. Immediately you start cooking it, you're missing out on quite a lot of the hidden depth benefits from it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So...
Now, next to that, so you've got a jar of honey. Next to that, you've got a demijohn.
A half demijohn.
A half demijohn. I don't think it really matters how big it is, because it's got mead in it. That's the extraordinary thing.
No, I don't think... Have you ever had mead?
Never had mead.
Never had it?
No. Am I going to...
What?
And the glasses have got bees on. They're like shot glasses with bees on.
I'll give you... Try that.
So this is the 17th century drink of the day.
Yeah, it could be. But this is quite a few years. It's probably about 6 years old, 7 years old.
What, that one is?
This is, yeah.
Wow.
But if you look at it, it's got a bit of legs on it.
Oh, like whiskey?
Yeah, yeah. And if you smell it...
Yeah, you can see it's got like an oil kind of...
And it's earthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would it be just the way that it...
Yeah. You'll like it.
That's like really... That's really gluggable, isn't it? That is bad for you, isn't it? That is.
It can be. But I've had this quite a few years, so I don't...
You haven't just got a straw in it then at night?
No.
That is... That's extraordinary.
It is. And all that is honey, yeast, water.
How much honey do you have to put into that?
Well, what we use is any of the stuff we had left over. So quite a few years ago we had a bumper crop, and then what we'd put it is mix it together with a bit of water and yeast and let it go through the fermenting process, and then that's just been left. So I've got another large demijohn and that left.
From how many?
Oh, that's
28 demijohn.
No, it's purely medicinal.
You're going to tell me you're only 28, aren't you? And it's the mead that's...
It is.
It's extraordinary drink.
But it has a sort of earthiness.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like whiskey, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a similar kind of colour, yeah.
But it's got a sort of feel of sweet but earthy.
Yeah.
Do you want to try some more?
I might need to just sample another one. Just in case.
I don't know what percent it is.
I think it's more percentage than me Essentials Waitrose honey that I bought.
I think it will be, yes. There you go.
I'll try for the earthiness again. I'm sure in podcast rules it says no drinking on the job.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Not even if you're wine tasting?
I'm sure of it somewhere.
You're supposed to spit it out?
I think so, yeah.
Well, maybe you could just make the sound.
That is excellent.
There's an earthiness to it,
yeah. That is excellent. You know, in autumn, there's like an appley. What is it, like apple peel or something like that? It's apple like peel? I sound like Jilly Goulden. Again, anybody under the age of 50 is ooh.
Yeah, maybe that's what happens when you drink mead. We all start to sound like Jilly Goulden.
Thank you very much for Carl for letting me venture down to his hives. Thank you very much to the Grey Disorder, Rose and Cloud, Ines Herrmann, Forgotten Bee, Defneon and Darren Claxton. I'll be back next week. See you laters.
The Casimir engine, reliably mediocre.